Hey guys, this is the general reading for Pisces for November 2020. So Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. If you have significant Pisces in your chart, if you're just drawn to this reading, or if you're like cross-watching for somebody else that's a Pisces. Energy is fluid, so some, none, or all of this may apply. This could have already happened. It could be happening now. It could happen in the future. I could read this as love. It could be career for you. I could read this as you. It could be somebody else significant to you. So just take what fits and leave the rest. Like, don't make it fit if it doesn't fit. Okay. Thank you for those of you who donate to the channel and who ask about donations. That information is in the description box below the video. Also, thank you for those who work with me, like service-wise. I love connecting with your guys' energies and working with you guys. So all the services is also in the description box below the video. But I do have shamanic services, light language, and crystalline consciousness technique that I haven't put in the description box yet. So shamanic services like soul retrievals, destiny retrievals, illuminations, shadow contracts, like if you want to let go of that, write a new contract, if just something's off balance in your body or attached to your body, or you need something taken away or added, if you forgot what your possible destinies could be, light language, personal, so email me about that. Also shamanic services, and then crystalline consciousness technique, which basically uses sacred geometry and helps you see audio electromagnetic field into your light body or crystalline body, and it helps make manifestation, transformation, and healing faster. It works at a really high frequency and then trickles down into the 3D. So I will have some of that up coming in the near future on the description box, but in the meantime, if you're interested, let me know. The crystalline consciousness technique has helped me a lot in going forward and where I've been going and getting through the last little bit of humps I've been on my journey, or been working through on my journey. So let me know. Okay. Okay. So I think it's, please like, share, comment, subscribe. So if you can't donate or work with me, commenting and liking and sharing and subscribing is just as much donating to help with the reciprocity of energy, or if you're just appreciative of the time and energy that I'm giving. It helps me, it helps my channel. So also, if you think you're subscribed, please double check. Like, I don't know, sometimes people get unsubscribed and they didn't do it, like just not even on my channel. So please comment on the video. It takes 2 seconds. And I love connecting to your guys' videos. Or I can't even think right now. Mercury retrograde is in full effect. To your comments, even if I can't subscribe, comment on all of them, but I read all of them and I love connecting to your guys' energy. So either way, like, share, comment, subscribe. Okay, so Pisces, when I first laid your cards, it seemed really positive and uplifting. Like, I was like, oh wow, yay. And then I started laying clarifiers and the energy kind of shifted. It's almost kind of like what's on the surface is not what's underneath, what's going on underneath. So there's a bunch of ways that I could possibly think about this, and I'm going to try to do my best with them, but there's one main one. So I'm just going to go and try to do this the best I can. So I'll just say this up front. Some of you are with somebody that there's, they're not really who they seem to be on the surface. Some of you have somebody coming back to you that they're not who they seem to be on the surface, or like they really haven't changed. And I feel like you guys, as Pisces energy, is going through possibly like a type of shift in how you're dealing with things or seeing things. And coming really into your own. Either as good as you were before or even better than before. Or you're realizing a lot of things, or just, you know, hearing that call. But there is also like a reunion energy here that, you know, follow your own intuition. some of this might be good for you, but I'm seeing a lot of rut-row-raggy. I mean, it's like, whoa, and it just comes and comes. So let's start. In the center of your reading, you have the Ace of Swords. So I think some of you are realizing something, or there's communication. So some of you are realizing something, or both, and you're realizing that you want to more take care of yourself and focus on you. Some of you are just getting communication or realization from somebody. Some of you, I don't feel like this is as many, but might find out that somebody either has a child that didn't tell you about, or they got somebody else pregnant. And I really hate doing a low vibrational reading like this, but it is what came out, so I don't know. But they got someone else pregnant, or they were with somebody else and they got somebody pregnant, and maybe that went south, and now they're coming back and trying you. I don't know. There's a lot here about pregnancy and baby, or maybe you got pregnant by somebody else. I don't know, but there's something here about baby or children too. So I think some of you figured out someone was messing with somebody else. Like there's a main chick and then a side chick possibly like hidden away somewhere or something. And I almost kind of got this vibe of like with these two cards besides main chick and then someone else hiding out that like no one knew about. Maybe they had an apartment somewhere else or something. I don't know. A whole nother secret life. I don't know. But I also heard with this, like, you have to be kidding me. Like, I've been locked up here kind of struggling and trying to do the best I can do too, and then that's how you repay me. But anyways, that's on a side note. What's crossing this is the Nine of Cups. So for those of you that this other story doesn't apply to, you know, this could just be you like focusing on you. Maybe even overindulging. Maybe something about this person or situation is like a wish fulfillment to you. Maybe even overindulging for you. Maybe even, I don't know. I'm not sure if they came in already or not, but there's some communication of, and it could be something even from the past, like either like nostalgia or childhood, or something about maybe news or pregnancy. Like maybe you're pregnant or they got someone else pregnant, or they're from, you know, your childhood or back when, and there was a lot of like, they miss you, good times, a lot of life and vitality. Tell me about this tree. Yeah, like life's been hard. And I think that there's like a lot of buttering up kind of vibe. Like it was really good with you. You make me feel, you know, good and carefree, and I don't know. I think they're going to reach out to you and be like, there's a lot of nostalgia. As I say, nostalgia, like past talk, reminiscing old times, remember when and this, and you were the only person who could ever do this or make me feel this way, or I made a mistake, or just some type of communication with somebody who really probably is like all about themselves, maybe a little smug. And even for you, this might even to some degree be a wish fulfillment or something that like you always even wanted, and like here it is type of thing. In the foundation of the reading, there's just a lot of like secretive cards here. A lot of things about something breaking up for either you or this person. Like you have bereavement at the end of this. You have house, where like here's these people kind of just being fine, doing their own thing, and this little thing's like spying on them, watching out for whatever opportunity can come their way. Marriage, it ended. Like, so, I don't know. I don't know. Something's going weird with this person. Like, either they did something ended, they either need help, or like you're another option or figuring out, or might help them get a leg up. You get what I'm saying? So on the foundation of the reading, you have the 8 of Pentacles and you have the 9 of Wands. I think that you've kind of been probably stuck in a cycle yourself, to be honest, but really working at some stuff, really persevering. Maybe like you've been working a lot on your healing and getting yourself together and persevering. Maybe even working a lot towards this, and it's been draining you and hurting you, and you're you're just wounded and battered from it. But some of you might have just been working on your healing. In your past, for those of you who don't like me saying I'm sorry, but it is what it is. So in the past, there's Knight of Pentacles and 4 of Wands. So again, I feel like you've been waiting, working on making your life better in some way. Just whether your house, celebration, friends, just slowly but surely, doing your thing to try to make things better within you and around you. Maybe not even showing it. Like, here's the cards. There's like a big burden or a whipping kind of card, and then the house. And this house, I always get the vibe of like image. Maybe you've even been putting on a front that everything's okay, or trying to make everything look okay, or at the very least, like, you've been trying to feel better. Like, you want your inside and how you feel inside to maybe match either what you want on the outside or the way it looks on the outside. Yeah, like you're really kind of unhappy with the way things were, the way your life is, yourself and or your life. So crowning this reading in your thoughts, you have the Ace of Wands. Now, I will say, you have, like, in the center of your reading, you have the Ace of Swords. Crowning your reason, you have the Ace of Wands. In your likely future, you have the Ace of Cups. And it did occur to me, I'm like, okay, they have almost all the aces, but they don't have the Ace of Pentacles. So we'll get to that later. You were missing the Ace of Pentacles. So there may be something that, other things are coming in, but you're having a hard time grounding what you're really wanting to work on or do or build or really manifest it into physical form. It's all either in passion or thoughts or emotions. But you have the Ace of Wands, so you're really kind of getting passionate, wanting to move forward. But again, I also kind of think that this might also be from this communication or this realization. Clarifying the Ace of Wands, you have the Coffin and you have the Key. It's almost like I get a vibe of something that was ended or had like a death is coming back. It's like there's a new thing starting, whether you just got out of a relationship and now here's a new start, just either on your own or with somebody else, or they just got out of a relationship and like like new beginning, like the key is to the new beginning. Be careful of selling yourself short also of all the work that you're doing. Please don't use instant gratification in the situation of I've been working and really not seeing what I want, but making slow progress at the same time, because you are. Your cards show that you are making progress, but it is very slow. This can almost, which judging by the rest of the cards kind of show that it can kind of be like a trick or something that you could fall into, because it can instantly just light everything up in you and feel so good and like it's grounding you or what you've always wanted, and yes, it's finally coming together or whatever it is. And you take the instant gratification route and it derails you, not only from all the work you just did, but even pulls you back. There's a big vibe here of going on that there is more under the surface that might not be seen, or, you know, maybe it's felt, but it's very much image, and what's going on underneath it is not the same, which is why this person's vibration may actually match yours right now, because you have on your recent past the Knight of Pentacles and the Four of Wands. You have this, and a big thing I get from this is that this is how you actually feel underneath, and this is the image you're presenting, like, oh, everything's fine, I'm working forward, like, yeah, I'm going, it's all good, but you really feel like crap underneath it all. It's not the way you want it to be. You're sad, you're scared, this sucks, it's a burden. And it's the same energy with this person, but in a way more opportunistic way. It's same energy, but used in a different way, if that makes sense. You know, yours is trying to like work on you and do your thing, blah, blah, blah. Someone else's is like that too, but instead of like you doing your own stuff, for the most part, I mean, yeah, you're wanting to pull off this person coming in too because it excites you, but you're not like looking to people to pull off that. You're just trying to do your own thing. And then when this comes in, like, well, they're feeling the same way, but either A, they are willing to, you know, might not be totally honest with somebody, or maybe they think they can, but they're just not being real with themselves, that, you know, it's not what they really want. They're just trying to feel better too. So are you, but you're the one who would get hurt. So I'm not saying this in a fear-based way, just be careful. There's more going on under the surface with this person. In your likely future, you have the Ace of Cups. So maybe a newfound sense of self-love. I hope so. I get more. First, it's excitement. Then it probably possibly turns emotional. It is kind of interesting that there's one cup, though, and not two. Clarifying that, you have this is like a man or a main man, but this guy is always my weasel one. I don't even know if that's a weasel or a ferret, but it's always like my weasel guy. I don't know why. Like, he's a weasel. And then, like, they might have said they changed. Like, there's a change card, but see, there's like one baby who's different than all the rest, like, and then you also have Fish, which is about abundance, but it's also about fertility. And I'm like, what will this person bring in? And it says Comet, so it could everything up for you. Also, yes, it could light things up. It could spin you in a direction maybe you need to go. So there's no right or wrong here. I'm just telling you your options. Like, one may totally derail everything you've been working on, but may shoot you lower and then spark you where you need to go. I mean, a comet, usually if it hits the ground or hits something, if I'm not mistaken, I don't really know, maybe that's a meteor, but you get my point. If it hits something, it creates a big hole. It might create a hole you've got to dig yourself out of, and not only confuse you or derail you, but take away all the process that you've done. And you, like, not only have to start over, but an even deeper hole. And then I wanted to know, what is this person really bringing, and, like, have they changed? And it says Wheel, you have Sage, and then Rat. I guess there's a chance they could have changed and cleansed out their rat ways. The energy doesn't feel that way to me. Maybe they think it right now. That's what I'm saying. They could even have pure intentions. But the energy, it just is not matching up. It doesn't mean forever, but it's not right now. I just don't know if I would entertain this. Not only that, but if this person is coming from these ways, I know with me, I've been on my healing journey for at least 4 years now, and I'm still struggling through things. Actually, I'm in like the depths of like a lot of the shadow stuff now after this long. So, and I didn't even have a lot of those ways. So I can't imagine that somebody, I don't know, this has a very secretive, trickster kind of vibe to it. Like, they're not just going to change overnight. Even if they realize different things or want better, they're still going to have to work through some of that. So either they're not ready now, or I just really feel like you should leave this alone. I get more they have not changed their ways. Even if something like scared them and they're like, oh crap, and they want to do better, they want to be a better man, blah, 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 woman, whatever. They're willing to do better. They're willing to look for that new beginning and start over and start right. So I don't know whether they know they're not going to or they think they are. But I just feel like this is really ingrained in this person. It's who they are. And if you do even think about getting back with this person or be with this person, period, it should be after like a long time of them like healing and getting their life right, like by themselves. Not like, oh, they just got out of a relationship, or oh, they just screwed up by being in another relationship like big time and being like, oh, now I see the error of my ways. You know, like, let's be together. No. Especially not since you've been doing all this work on yourself. It's kind of like those things, and no offense to anybody who has, but like when somebody starts dating somebody in prison or jail, and they're like, they found God, and they're like a good person now, and they don't know that, like, no. You know, for one, especially depending on what they're in there for, but for two, let them get out. Let them reintegrate back in society. Let them show they're a functioning member of society, and they're actually doing it and practicing it for a while, like at least a year. You know, like, come on now. Just saying, just my opinion, no offense. Anyways, so how you see yourself is the Four of Cups reversed. Honestly, I feel like you see this as something that is good for you. Like maybe even that you've wanted. And that you're just not ignoring it anymore. Like you're not ignored, you're not bored by it, like you're intrigued in it. Show me the, yeah, like you're down for this new beginning. You want to make this connection. Your environment, Five of Cups. This person lost something and either made a big boo-boo or they lost something and they're regretful and sad. And they're now probably like turned around and was like, well, I still have these two cups. Let's go see what these are about. It's up to you how you perceive that. So this person's also sad, which by the way, I would recommend for anybody, especially a man, like a woman going to a man, but really anybody. I would recommend don't ever date somebody that like you feel sorry for them or you're like, oh, and this is really hard because Pisces is just like the opposite of what they feel. Pisces loves unconditionally. They want to be the one that's there for you. They want to be the one to see past everything. They want to be the one to love you through all your faults. You know, that die hard. So, but that's kind of a trap. I mean, unless you can rationalize it in a way that works for you instead of burning you. Maybe that's the whole thing for the comment here on what this might happen is you could literally get burned by this situation. And maybe that's what the wheel is that you should do something different and you should cleanse out this rat energy. I think you have a very high likelihood of probability actually of getting burned by this situation. This person is seeing you as like a second choice or an option. And they're sad, whether they're showing it or not. And for one, you don't want a trauma bond. Like you're sad, they're sad. Let's get together on our sadness. That's a recipe for disaster. For two, you don't want to get with somebody that you feel bad for them or you feel sorry for them. Like you want them to have their stuff together and they're going and thriving too. You know, yes, you could ride the downs with somebody, but you really shouldn't like necessarily meet somebody on a down unless they're, you know, working on their stuff and independent and doing their thing. And it just happens that way. Like you don't want it to be like they just, and they're just like, what else can I grab onto right now? How they see you. 10 of Wands, 9 of Pentacles. They see you like either like really working on yourself. Maybe they see you as really burdened and you're single. I think, if I'm being honest, I think they see you as like you don't pay attention. You're naive. You are a little bit of a hard worker in some ways. But like, I don't know, my attention really went to this, like him not seeing and his head being in these. Like, I think they see that you don't see things. That you're kind of like in this la la land, which let's be honest, that's where like Pisces, a lot of times like they're really in like the dream world and like, oh, it's beautiful. And they always think the best of everybody. Like, so that's what this means. They see you as being just weighed down by all your stuff, not seeing through it, and you're blind to reality. And you're kind of, maybe you're working hard on yourself. You probably are. Still at the same time, you're like, you know, things aren't right. You've been working on it. But to some degree, your head's in the clouds. You're not really seeing properly. And you're just kind of in this la la land thing. And you're in the middle of working towards it. I'm not saying their depiction is right. But they feel like you're naive and that you don't see things and that you know, just have this image in your mind, this illusion, Neptune type energy, a dream, and that you are always willing to see like the best in everything and the dreaminess in everything and blah blah blah. Like, it's very beautiful and romantic on one aspect, and I understand this. My Venus is in Pisces, and my Sun and my Mercury is in my 12th house, which is Pisces energy. So I have a lot of Pisces energy in me. This can get you into trouble. And I don't know if this person is consciously doing this or if it's subconscious, but this person knows that you will accept them and take them. Flaws and all, bull crap and all the crap they built up and went through. And not in a way of Pisces is this amazing person. Like an amazing, you know, just, that beautiful unconditional love goddess. No one will ever love me like Pisces. I only want them. It's not like that. Whatever in your head, you know, I would never leave them. They saved me. Like, Pisces is naive and has their head in the clouds. And at least for a minute, I can get what I want from them. Or at least not be alone or abandoned or miserable. Like, they can at least help get me through permanently, and hopefully they change, but I don't get a permanent vibe. Like, I think they're codependently latching on to something, and Pisces is always there. Pisces will always unconditionally love past every possible thing and not hold it against them. You just always see them as amazing. You come say hi, Pisces. Come say hi, Pisces. In your hopes, you have the 7 of Pentacles. So I think you're at least thinking about this, but I think you really want to keep investing in it. Maybe seeing how you can, you're thinking, how can I get more of an investment or a better investment from them this time? But either way, yours is more like, I want to keep investing, or I want to figure out ways that I can get more out of this. Your fears is the Page of Pentacles. Like, I think you fear starting over or having to like relearn or whatever. I think you fear starting over. I think you fear having literally to start over, but to like kind of feel like you've been knocked down a little bit, to work on things. Honestly, that you've been having to work through before, that you've been avoiding. A lot of things having to do with solar plexus work is what I'm getting. Like, really trying to work on your inner will, your inner power, your discipline, your self-confidence, you know, your identity, your drive, you know, responsibility. A lot of solar plexus work, I think, is what you've been trying to work on and presenting a certain way, but you're having a rough time. Like, you really don't like it underneath. And I think what you want is, you think this situation will make it easier, and it almost eradicates you having to work on that in some weird way. And what you don't want is to have to continue going back to work on this. And not only do you have to go back to work on this, but you're not even a knight now, you're now a page. You actually downshifted and dug yourself a hole. In your likely outcome, you have Judgment. I'm not sure if this just means like the reunion part, or if it means like, is it just the awakening? An awakening, beginning, or end to some important event, warning. Because you have Bell, you have Moon, and you have Shield, clarifying this. I think you end up realizing, if you entertain this, so this doesn't have to happen. Remember that this is all a possible scenario, and free will is at hand here. But if you choose to do what this is showing, which is you investing and thinking of different ways to get more, and you stop working on the inner work and inner knowing and inner confidence and independence and all the things that are just the power within yourself, you stop working on gaining that inner power within yourself like you've been trying to work on, and this person comes in and they confuse you, and all that inner power is given to them, it's just not great. Like, you start to see, oh God, what happened? It leads to a bunch of confusion, and you having to like shield yourself off from this person. It just ends up not great for you. And then you have like you have dog, which is like a lot with like loyalty. Maybe you see a lot with loyalty. There's a little orb or a ball or something. Maybe you see a lot about what loyalty looks like to you. And then you have main person and you have fox. Like, things are not as they seem. Like, if you look, it's like this. This is what's being presented and this is what's underneath it. This guy only is worried about himself and he's conniving, guy, girl, whatever. I'm telling you, there's a huge thing here in so many cards and so many facets about things not being what they seem. You honestly, like, the card at the bottom of the deck is the Lovers, and then you have the Hangman. Like, needing to see this connection from a different perspective. Like, stop, sit back, maybe even sacrifice or take a pause to be able to see this from a different perspective and do the right thing this time. What's not only fair, but what's right for you. Maybe even this situation, you've got to be logical about, you know, be balanced in your emotions, not just be so emotional. You've got to have mind and heart balance. This is a logical card. This is an emotional card. Mind and heart balance. Look higher, think higher, and keep this away from you, or it is going to confuse you, and it's going to bring all these energies back that you've been working through. You've got to have strength through this. Maybe have people that you can confide in that will actually be honest with you. Like, not those types of people who just won't say anything to you, or they're not willing to say like what they really see or what they think is going on. You know, have people that they're the truth tellers. They're the ones who will just tell it to you like it is. You may want to talk to them about it. I wanted to just double check some things, and I pulled cards for advice for you. And the first card that came up, ironically enough, was the Ace of Pentacles, which is the pentacle that you're missing. You need to keep working on what you are working on. Do not let this person or this situation or whatever this is come in and derail you from whatever you were doing. Do not. Or do it. I don't want to tell you what to do. I'm just going to give you options. I would not. But you need to keep working on this Ace of Pentacles. You've got all these other ones coming in, and the one that you don't have is the one that you've been working on. Working on this groundedness, working on manifesting, working on bringing it into fruition and 3D and the tangible. And in order to do that, and they're all like yellow cards, you've got to keep working on your will, your discipline, your inner power, just taking responsibility, your identity, who you are, your self-esteem, just your inner power, active power, not giving away your power. The power's in you. You need to keep working on this. And then after that, you have, I'll just show them to you before I talk about it. You have the Empress. You have the Ace of Swords. So here's the Ace of Swords again. So like I said, you may find out that this person either has someone else, had someone else, they had a side lady, there's either a pregnancy, was a pregnancy, whatever. Ace of Swords, Justice. There's Justice again. Hierophant. That's the second Hierophant. Chariot. You have a lot of major arcana here. Just in the whole thing. Even at the bottom of the deck in here. Two of Pentacles. Actually, that's interesting. How many do you have? One. So I'll finish this. Two of Pentacles. Strength. The Fool. And Judgment. Okay, so what I was saying was the only major arcana that you actually have in the spread is Judgment, which you also have to have Judgment here. But in your advice and in the energy in the bottom of the deck, in what it's trying to say is going on here, there's a lot of major arcana. So you are really, really being guided right now on some big, like, soul lesson of a pattern that, how do I say this and say it right? I feel like they're going to completely leave it up to you. You might feel like you don't have a lot of guidance. You might feel like you don't have a lot of intuition about it. You might feel that it's just all on you and you're alone spiritually and there's nothing bigger woo-woo going on that you're feeling. Like, oh, I just feel it. I know I should do this. Or, oh, I know this. There's this reason to it. No. It's almost like it's just all you and it's all your decision. And they're just saying, we've talked, we've dropped, we've laid all this information in. What's Pisces gonna do? Hands off. Like, boop, hands off. So this is your moment of guidance. Other than this, you need to listen to everything you've learned, your own intuition, your own gut feeling, and your emotions. And not listen to your emotions, like let them rule you, but, you know, this is all of putting it together on, you know, do you pass this grade in school and everything you learned over the year? I don't know. You get what I'm saying. But either way, you're not going to get much guidance here. This is your guidance. Maybe you can hit up somebody else or talk to someone else or whatever, but I don't think you're going to get as many of those signs as you normally do, if that makes sense. You get what I'm saying. Anyways, so you might really like something about your own worth and take charge and balance the situation on your own. But you might also learn this person like either had someone else, another baby child. I don't even know. But you learned something. Whether it pertains to you or somebody else, or they just got themselves up Craps Creek and now all of a sudden they thought of you. And your advice is to focus on this Ace of Pentacles, this energy you've been focusing on, because you don't have this coming in, because that's the one thing you've been trying to work on is not only money, but the tangibleness, the responsibility, the discipline, all the things that brings it into physical form, that work that brings it in. It's what you've been working on, and all that goes out the window if you start entertaining this. And it's the one thing you need up here. Ironically, it's what you've been working on. But this communication, this passion, and this emotion can have, per this, it derails you. And you learn this, either your own worth or learn what this person is doing, and you don't look past it. You can still love them unconditionally, but they are not allowed to be a significant player in your life, if at all, because this person has a very opportunistic vibe. They don't actually care about you. They really honestly shouldn't be in your life, not even as a friend. They're not a friend. Maybe if the universe brings them back years down the road after they've been through a bunch of stuff, I don't know. But right now, this person is like poison in your life. You're viewing it as they're an anecdote, right? Antidote? Yeah. Like they are a welcomed blessing, a answer to my prayers. Maybe I can do something different with it this time. You know, whatever. And you're supposed to be like, no. Whether you either divorce this person or leave them out, just go, they're getting a divorce, whatever. And you need to just see the bigger picture on this. Stay in your peace and working on yourself, this higher level of knowledge. Move on. Choose some other way to go. It's not this way. I would stick with doing what you were doing. If you're going too slow or you're stalled, get help. Like, here's a little thing I figured out recently by I was like noticing what type of people were around me, and they're great, you know, some are like spiritual people, they're working on things, blah, blah. And I realized I was working through some things that my group of people, in all ways, whether they were just friends, acquaintances, you know, holistic doctor, energy work, whatever, they couldn't help me with what I was working through because either it was not their area of expertise they were trained in, or they had never worked through that themselves. And I realized, why am I talking to all these people about this stuff? Or getting advice from them, most, you know, if they even care. But if not, they'll give advice and it's either insignificant or it's from the perspective of somebody who's never even worked through that problem themselves. They either don't have the problem to know the solution or they've never even found the solution themselves. So find yourself around different types of people who have been past what you're currently working through, just as a little tidbit of information. And I think that might be even part of you why you see like, oh, this could really help me. Like maybe this person is a symbol in your eyes of what, like you think they have what you're trying to embrace or build for yourself. Well, just so you know, they don't. They don't. They put on more of a face than you do. And you do put a little bit of a face because on the image it's like, oh, everything's grand and you feel like crap underneath. And so does this person, but they put even more of one up. But you might look at them like, oh, they're grounded, or they're great at bringing in money, or they're great security wise, they're a great secure man or woman or whatever. Like whatever it is, it feels like, or they're confident, or I wish I can be more, you know, about myself, or like, you know, like if you're very selfless, you might actually be drawn to someone who's selfish because it's a balance of what you're trying to attain within yourself. Like they might have really good boundaries and tell you like that, what they want, what they don't want, what they like, what they don't like, and where to tell you where to go and how to get there. And like part of you, because that's like the weird part of, you know, Pisces energy, where it's like slap me and slap me good. They also really like that because they don't have boundaries usually themselves. They don't have that where do I end, where do you begin, which is what you're trying to build with all this pentacle and solar plexus energy. And this person, I feel like, is the symbol. It's like a false symbol of what you are trying to develop within yourself. And so it's very easy, it's going to be very easy for you to drop into this instant gratification thing of, oh, I could just be with them and they'll balance me, or they'll teach me, or I'll to be there. I'll be there by being around them. Like they'll balance me by our energies being around each other, or, you know, it's just that codependency, like the instant gratification of getting your needs met through somebody else, or not having to evolve because like your partner's like that, or they push you, or this or that. And sometimes that can be great, but most of the time it's codependency, and this is very codependent. And in order to move forward so that you can maintain this balance, you're really going to have strength. You're going to have to really calm this part of yourself and keep this storm away from you and walk into just this new beginning. Like have faith. Take a leap of faith into this new beginning. And here's where your judgment. So instead of the judgment being, whoop, like you're going to go through judgment anyways and your likely outcome. But it can either be, oh crap, and the veil was tossed off your face and you're like in a comet hole, or I don't know, do comets hit the earth, or is that meteors, or both? I don't know. But you're in this big hole that you've been dug into and you're like, damn. And then you got a lot of work to come out from. So either way, you're going to realize stuff. Or you can have the same judgment energy, but instead you're happy and you're marching to the beat of your own drum. Is it going to happen right away? No. Are you going to be sad because you're going to have to sacrifice and walk away from everything that you thought at one time you knew or was the answer to your prayers? Yeah. But this is where it comes from being you know, adult, inner child, awakened, not awakened, conscious, unconscious, or higher level of consciousness, not unconscious, but just not seeing, being willing to not do the instant gratification, being willing to see your patterns, being willing to see outside of your emotions, being willing to actually look at somebody for who they are and what they're doing presently. Not the potential, not what they could be, not what you hope they would be, not what they have that you want and you don't want to have to work for it. So it'd be great to date them and then it will balance you out, especially for Pisces, since you can like transfer energies like that with the person. Because yes, you absorb people around you, their energies, and you have to be careful of that, but you could also absorb people's energies around you, you know? So, but it's not yours. Those skills were never built up. So it's false. It's an illusion. It's one of your karmic lessons of being able to see past the illusion. And not that it's not great to be in an imaginative way or a creative way, because that's amazing. And you can create beautiful things with that. And you can also bring a lot of hope and faith to this world that a lot of people don't have. And that's magic. But in order to make it practical and manifest in a 3D form that's good for you and good for the people around you, you have to be willing to balance it with logic and with seeing. So balance, okay? I hope you get what I'm saying. But either way, you're going through the judgment energy. You're going to be seeing some stuff. You're going to be realizing some stuff to try to like hopefully close out a level. Most people will end up closing out the level, but it's either going to be really painful or it may not. I mean, it's going to be painful anyways, but one, it's going to be where you lose power and you have guilt and shame over making the wrong decision and you have a bigger hole to climb out of and way more healing. Or, yes, it hurts, but you'll get through it and it actually empowers you even more because now you loved yourself more than you loved somebody else. And you can actually trust yourself because now you made the right decision, which empowers your solar plexus, which feeds what you were trying to work on before, which will make it actually work faster to where you don't have to worry about this instant gratification because you just proved to yourself that you are able to take responsibility and make the right action, no matter how much it hurt your ego or a part of you knowing just on a higher level, this really isn't going to get me what I want at the end of the day. No matter what illusion is being presented to me by myself or this person. And that means making grown-up decisions, responsible decisions, disciplined and willpower decisions, and active use of your power to where your willpower is now strengthened and it works for you instead of against you. So this could even be seen as a type of karmic test, which I did say they were going to be hands-off, and it's all on you. But literally, this is that type of thing that depending on this decision that you make, is what makes it to where these solar plexus energies and practical, tangible, earth-like energies you've been working on actually take like a big leap in change. This is what makes these decisions, is by when things like this come in and you're able to rise above it and see above it and see that you can trust yourself because either things aren't adding up or you can feel this energy, or even just logically you're able to pull your emotions out and just look at it logically and be like, this is not a good or healthy situation for me to be in. I can still totally love somebody unconditionally, either in my life or from afar. Chances are you're going to have to love this person from afar. Because what's underneath them, at least right now, at this stage in their life, they're not going to be a nice person. They're not going to be good. They're not going to care about your well-being, and they're going to make it difficult to you. Or even if you reject them, it's going to affect your energy. I don't think you can actually be friends with this person. At the very least, to where you know it's not time to not focus on you right now and you've got to continue building this in yourself. There is no easy button here. This person is not an easy button. This person will make things a lot harder and a lot worse. Okay? Is that it? Trying to think if I want to pull like a oracle card or something. So I'll pull a crystal card. And then we'll be done with this. So please like, share, comment, and subscribe, guys. Especially comment and like. At least it takes 2 seconds to do, and it means a lot to me and helps my channel. Just donation information, description box below. Service information, description box below. Except for the shamanic services, personal light language, and crystalline consciousness technique. Also, emails, if you've emailed me, I'm still getting back to those. I'm going to try to finish them up like tonight or tomorrow and get going with them. So, protect your energy, guys. Cornelian showed up. All right, yeah. All right, so let's see. What advice do you have for Pisces? So you have two. Anandalite. Cosmic consciousness. It gently facilitates integration and releases emotional blockages standing in the way of spiritual awakening, like that Judgment card. It reminds us that consciousness is omniscient and omnipresent. Seeing all, knowing all, immerse yourself in the mystical interconnectedness that is cosmic consciousness. You have the potential to live in a completely different dimension of consciousness. Recognize that you previously operated with a narrow band of awareness. Attune to flashes of divine light within your soul. Let feelings of separation fall away. Embrace unity. You are here to experience cosmic consciousness, transform your goals, and seek a new direction. Yeah, like this Fool card. You have exceptionally clear sight now, stripped to the bone. As the old falls away, do not despair. New light is infused. When you transform your awareness, humanity experiences a quantum shift. Enlightenment can happen right now. You are part of everything, and everything is part of you. And you also have Flint. Yeah, portal power. It stabilizes energy and cuts to the core of issues, clearing blockages and loosening ties. It opens portals to other worlds and hidden aspects of yourself. You are a person with profound inner depths. Do not be afraid to explore this hidden side. It contains treasure beyond knowing, together with attitudinal karma and repressed emotions affecting well-being. Flint connects you to your ancestors. A natural traveler, you know how to negotiate the shamanic underworld to obtain healing insights. Strengthen your boundaries. Cut through confusion to the core of the matter. Exactly. Soul retrieval is necessary if you left any part of yourself in another life or an abusive childhood experience. An unwelcome visitor, let me say this. An unwelcome visitor from the past can be left behind, but recognize lessons before you move on. Paying attention to energetic boundaries and core strength, cutting detrimental ties, and strengthening your connection to the planet maintains well-being. It's pretty good. All right. I love you guys. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Hit the bell. I put out different types of videos. I'll be putting out more, a lot of everything like that. Sorry. I don't have a lot of energy. This Mercury retrograde and all that. My communication is off, clearly, as you can tell. But hit me up about services if you're interested. And I don't know. Good luck. I love you guys. I'll be seeing and talking to you soon. Bye.